or as long as I can remember, being a boy growing up in the mean streets of Mississauga, Ontario, I always wanted to be rich and famous no matter what it took. I became so obsessed with this pipe dream of mine that I started to become vocal. I told anyone and everyone that I came across that someday I would become this well-known billionaire, that I would retire my parents, and that I would buy them a home, and I would make sure my brother and sister were well set up in life. But as I got older, and this continued, my spirit became broken. What I didn't know back then was that gawking about how you would become a billionaire, let alone be a millionaire, was just for the movies. It was an impossible task. I mean, who was gonna believe me? I was just some kid. But something that I understand and realize now is that those who can't dream of success for themselves will always end up putting down those who can. Because of that, yeah, I gave into mediocrity, but still deep down, I held on to a bit of faith in myself. And it's because of that reason that I owe everything to my younger self to have never completely given up on that burning fire. That fire that would soon allow me to have the opportunities in the near future that my family and I thought were just for the rich and talented. Now, this is not a rags to riches story nor a motivational piece. Rather, it's letting you explore inside the life of Jaiden Vu and really how having an ounce of belief and faith can ultimately save a life. I'm a middle child to a family of 5. My parents were immigrants with no real trade talents. But only the clothes under their back, they made it an impossible task to find a new life in Canada, just because they wanted a better future for their kids. I grew up as a very troubled child. I always seemed to be getting into fights. I've been suspended more times than I can remember, and I got involved with drugs to wash away all the sorrows in my heart. I had a real hard time making friends, and I couldn't get myself to trust anyone because my family was so dysfunctional. In order to overcome the economic challenges at home at the time, I found myself stealing consistently and constantly from convenience stores. Mostly food, because I couldn't bear another day of eating the same meal over and over and over again. And this ultimately led to my obsessive eating disorder. It got so bad to the point in which I was only 13 years old. I was weighing in at over 200 pounds. And this was right around the time I started getting depressed. I get so severely depressed throughout periods of my life that I tried to kill myself not once, not twice, but 5 different occasions. What actually saved me though was that I started to find some joy out of cooking. Getting behind the stove was meditative for me. In order to stop finally stealing, I found a job dishwashing after school. And I started to convince myself that the school system was just jeopardizing my mental health. So what did I do? Dropped out. I was fortunate enough to work all the way from being a dishwasher onto becoming a head chef. And that was a huge achievement. Something I was super proud of, but my depression got the best of me. As the years went on, the environment got more toxic, seriously toxic, to the point that I started to convince myself that enough was enough. I got involved heavily with the drugs, and the worst part of it all was that the money was not enough. I'd have many sleepless nights wondering how I was going to pay rent. I knew that if I pursued this path any longer, I would never get that much closer to that billion-dollar dream I had back then. Then by complete chance, I ran into someone that I knew that was in sales. We started talking, we got close, and he started to really open my mind about financial freedom and how it's all possible. So within a couple months, I took a chance. I took a huge gamble again, and really I wanted to taste that financial freedom, so I decided to jump ship and become a salesman. Hoping things will all to change, hoping things would finally get better, hoping I wouldn't feel like this and be in the same rat race day in, day out. Complete opposite was true. Because of my emotional outbreaks and my depression, there would be months and months and months where I would go without a single sale. It got me very suicidal. I tried to kill myself because I got tired of looking at my bank account. All because of that faith and belief my younger self carried throughout all those years. It gave me the will to get myself together, to actually take responsibility, to find the courage and strength to tell myself that it will work out. I started to commit, and I started to declare to myself that starting today, at that very moment, I was going to become the best. And fortunately, it did work out. After a couple of months, I was able to work my way up onto becoming the company's top performer back to back. And I experienced that financial freedom. That was a huge achievement. That was a huge milestone. I was proud of it. But I threw it all away because I wanted to take another gamble. I wanted to take another leap of faith. I decided to become an entrepreneur. I ventured out to build a business with an idea that I loved, that I was passionate about, that I could talk on and on about, that I thought was going to provide a lot of value into the world. So I pursued that with everything. I gave it 200% to have it completely filled on me. I didn't know what to do. So I said, screw it, why not? I'm going to get back up. I and build another business. That's what I did. Built that one, it failed. I built another one, it failed. Company after companies, it all failed. Some lasted for a while, but none became promising. However, I'm grateful to have done what I've done up to this point. I was able to build a legacy of work that I'm genuinely proud of, all because my younger self never gave up belief and faith that it'll all work out. So achieving what you want in life has nothing to do with how hard you had it early on, whether you're rich or poor, whether you went to an Ivy League school or you dropped out, whether you're gifted or mentally challenged, whether you're black, white, or yellow. None of that has to do with anything. Really, it just comes down to the choice in how you choose to accept and react to your current circumstances. That will be the defining act to where you end up in life. My story is a great indication of how you can come from absolutely nothing and turn it into something.